approved by the House and the Senate. Half of the money, $350 billion, would be made available immediately. Then down the road, if Congress doesn't think the bailout program is working, it could vote to block the rest of the money. California Representative Brad Sherman is a Democrat and a member of the Financial Services Committee, and he joins us right now. Good morning to you, sir.
Good to be with you, Alex. And in that description of the bill, you had it a little wrong.
Oh, straighten it out.
The second 350, in order for Congress to block, we would have to pass a resolution of disapproval over the president's veto, 2/3 of both houses. So any provision that we could stop the whole $700 billion is a pure illusion, a deliberate illusion.
Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying that, Congressman Sherman. Let's get to something here, though. The Democrats holding a majority, and you probably could have gotten a bill passed without significant Republican support. Why the effort to bring so many others on board?
I don't think we could have passed a bill without significant Republican support for a couple of reasons. First, there are a lot of us who are incredibly skeptical. And second, Democrats are insisting that this be viewed as the Republican bill and a Republican administration proposal and the Republican mess that we are helping them to clean up. Taking ownership of this bill is something Democrats were reluctant to do. Our feeling is that if you're going to waste $700 billion, at least we ought to be able to blame Republicans for it.
So the current bill that we're going to see, this 100 pages or so, is this a GOP bill or is it a Democrat bill?
It's basically Bush's bill with where he has whipped this country into such a panic that our leadership has agreed to take what is basically the Bush proposal and make some tiny changes to it, and then there's an effort by the administration to exaggerate those changes, just as in your opening graphic, where had I not stepped in, people would have thought that Congress had a real way to limit this bill to 350. No, once this bill passes, the administration gets $700 billion.
Although in all fairness, and I understand you're being very detailed here, I want to make this point that you could vote to block the rest of the money from being spent, whether or not you would get that vote, correct?
Well, we could vote tomorrow. We could give the president $2 trillion and then assemble the next day and repeal it. We can always pass a law, but to say that we could pass a resolution of disapproval is just to say we're not putting ourselves out of business. But in order to pass something, we have to overcome a presidential veto. Now, what do you think of the chances of that?
Well, granted, you're putting that in perspective there. I'd like to play some of the comments for you earlier that were made by Senator Reid this morning. I want to get your reaction to it on the other side.
It's been extremely difficult. We've had a number of calls with the White House and others. And I have to say the breakthrough came about an hour ago with the Speaker coming up with an idea that hadn't been formulated, but it was enough to get, I think, this so we can commit it to paper.
So calls from the White House and others, do you know who the others that Senator Reid was referring to, who they are?
No, but elements of the establishment of Wall Street, of members of the Wall Street boards, are going all out for this money. They're whipping up a panic. I mean, there is a real problem with our economy here, but they're whipping up a panic. They can taste the $700 million, and they're hell-bent to get it.
Okay. The Speaker's planning to vote on it. Are you?
I will vote against this bill unless it's very, very different from what's been put up. The one change they're talking about making, just to give you an idea of how they seem to be doing something and really are just going with the president's plan, says that we're going to pay for this cost by selling some future president that he has to make a proposal to Congress to generate revenue. Well, a president can make a proposal to Congress at any time. Telling him that he has to make a proposal is kind of silly, because if he makes a proposal he doesn't want to make and he tells us he doesn't like his own proposal, well, that's just a waste of paper. So presidents can always propose revenue bills. We take seriously those proposals that the president himself actually likes, and to say that the president can make a revenue proposal 2, 3, 4 years from now as a pay-for this shows you the kind of window dressing that's going on to make it look like they've changed the proposal when in fact it remains $700 billion for George Bush in unmarked bills.
California Democratic Representative Brad Sherman, thank you very much for weighing in. Appreciate that, sir. Meantime, U.S. automakers are getting a government hand. The big three can begin using a $25 billion low-interest line of credit from the federal government. That lending program was approved yesterday as part of a big spending bill.
Caldwell.
Yes.